So what's up, everyone? So why do I still use the King James Version of the Bible? After I have studied the Bible for over 40 years, being a teacher and a preacher of the Word of God over 40 years, and having read most of the major modern versions of the Bible, as well as the original languages, why do I still recommend exclusively the King James Version even for new converts? Or shall we say what is right with King James onlyism? Hello, I'm Pastor Ty, and I want to welcome you to our channel, Proclaiming Liberty, where we search for truth in history, theology, and prophecy. And while you're thinking about it, reach down there and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I would really appreciate it. And share this video with all your friends and family. And if for some reason you agree or disagree with me, comment down below, and I would appreciate it much. So the number one reason why I am strictly King James only is because I believe it is the best translation of the best Hebrew and Greek text. And that would be the Masoretic text of the Old Testament, Textus Receptus of the New Testament. And the discussion of those languages, original languages, is a great subject of another video. The second reason is I believe the King James Bible is without error in its translation. That it does not have mistaken translations in it. It will not lead you astray in the way it has rendered from the original languages. I would probably put it this way. When I've compared the King James Bible with the original language text, I have never said to myself, wow, why did they translate it that way? But I have said, oh my, I see why they translate it that way. I can't say that's the same for many of the modern versions of the Bible. Although I do believe that there is a possibility you can translate into the English language using a different phrase or a different word and still be just as accurate. But the King James Bible will not lead you astray. And that leads me to the third point. I believe the King James Bible has stood the test of time. It is a tried and true friend. It has been read, studied, looked over with a microscope and a fine-tooth comb for over 400 plus years. And over that period of time, they have standardized the spelling of words and shapes of letters, etc., up to 1769, and it is now in its, I think, its perfect state. And it stood the test of time. My daddy always taught me never buy the first model of a new car. For example, they start to advertise a car, we put this brand new engine in it, just recently developed transmission. He said, wait till it's out a couple years and see what happens. And so I can look back at older vehicles and I know engines that were all aces, and I've known other engines that were complete turkeys. And you can distinguish by that because you wait to see, and they have proved themselves. Another reason is I appreciate the King James Bible's use of italics as helper words. Because when you translate from one language to another, sometimes you cannot translate one word with one word. Sometimes it may take others. And so they have put into italics words they have helped to make the text make sense. For example, you can't translate word for word from Spanish into English. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe you have purchased something recently that was made in China, and the language or the instructions have come over. They were translated from Chinese, or what is that language? Mandarin, which is a fine language, I'm sure. You translate it into English word for word, and it makes no sense whatsoever because, as many languages, sometimes nouns and verbs are interchanged. But what I like about the King James Bible is used italics for its helper words. Another reason for the King James Bible, it is the hallmark of the English language, the hallmark. You can all look back to the King James Bible, and it has set the English language from its inception. Now, one thing you may find interesting is people seem to hate the these and thous that are in the Bible, but you look 1769, which was the era of our founding fathers, and you'll find that they did not use these and thous, but they left it in the Bible. You look at the dedication page where the translators dedicated to King James, and you'll find that they didn't use these and thous, but they left them in the Bible for a specific reason. Like most of us now have come to learn the difference between singular and plural, that the these, thou, and thine are all referring to singular, whereas if it's ye or you, it is plural. Another reason why I like the King James Bible strictly is because of what we refer to as English rhythm. It's not just its prose language, but it has a rhythm to it, the T-dums as they call it. So when you're reading the King James Bible, it is not just words and facts, it sings. It is music, it is majestic. And there's a reason for that, is because it enhances our learning, it enhances our memory, and it brings the truths into our mind in a fascinating way. And another reason why I think it is set. It is a set translation. It's not subject to continual changes and revisions, as all it seems the modern versions are, is they have to improve things and update them over the years, or they go under. You'll find that the NASB, I think, has 27 different editions, and the NIV has about 6, I believe, and on it goes. And the King James Bible's had all the spelling changes and the typos corrected and fixed over that time. Another reason the King James Bible is an historic book. An historic book. It has influenced the minds of our founding fathers and many people who built America in the early days. And the final reason is this. You will not be well read if you do not read the King James Bible. Now you check at the Harvard 5-foot shelf of reading. There is a list of books that some people may change a book here and there, but pretty much it's static, is that if you read this collection of books, you don't need a college education. You'll have it. The conversation of the last 2,000-3,000 years is all laid down in print for us to read. And on that list is the King James Bible. So if you want to be well read, you should read the King James Bible. So do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? Comment down below. Give us a like if you got anything out of this. Even if you disagree with me, if you felt maybe that you've got something here about King James only people you didn't know before, hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and God bless you all. Have a great day.